Hello, everyone! Welcome back. I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax, and welcome to the channel. It is a Sunday night, which means it is time for some Greyhawk for Become One shenaniganry fun, and I'm going to let my players introduce themselves, and then I have a little thing at the end, just for funsies. But why don't we start with Lynn? Hey, Lynn, how are you? How's life going for you this day?
Doing good. Hey everyone, I'm Lynn, she, they, and tonight I am playing Ven, they, them, multi-souled, knowledge cleric, who, you know what, we might be doing the right thing, we might not be doing, we'll see. We'll see where this takes us.
So many questions that arose from last session.
Prophecy is messy.
Prophecy is very messy, but it's so much fun for those of us who run games.
Mhm.
And then next to PB, next to Lynn, we have PB, who I believe had a natal celebration in the last 2 days. So we have to say happy
I
birthday.
did.
And I'm not Trooper, so I'm not going to sing, but happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
If you really want
Um,
it sung, I can pretend to be a lounge singer. That's about the best I can do.
Please.
wait, no, I'll stay here for it. Oh man. Well, hi, hello. I'm Phoebe. Thank you so much. I did have a birthday this weekend. I have lost my voice a little bit, but it is coming back. So we'll see how it lasts tonight. And tonight I'm playing Civ Iron Fury, our favorite hammer throwing dwarf. And I'm just happy to be here. I'm alive after almost being dead a lot. And, that's all one can ask for. Honestly, it's me and my sauce against the world.
Mm-hmm. You, your sauce, and your hammers.
All you need in life, really.
Yep. All you need is sauce. Hey, Chris, how are you? How's life going for you?
I'm doing well. As I posted in chat, it's okay, PB. You can just say favorite dwarf. Um, it's true. Uh, so uh, I'm here to play Gunnar, the paladin, noble paladin with the song or with the dream singing song sword, whatever. Who's leading us to find the four blades.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, looking forward to it. He's a little rusty with his sword play. He's used to punching things, but this is good. This is good.
Yep. But someone else who is also attempting to lead you down the garden path to sin and degradation. Hey, Lindy.
Tis I, Lindy. Laugh, love, Lindy. And, oh, cat hopping off my lap. Tesla, thank you. Thank you. Your parents was Reef. I will be playing Yursa Alfjarl, he's got some roses today for bachelorette version of Paladins. Find your deity. Who's that deity? Like the worst game of Who's That Pokemon. And just, flirting with wizards and anything that might breathe, maybe. I think that's Yursa's type. Living. Uh, so
Yeah.
No liches. Got
no
it.
liches. Liches are for bitches.
Got it.
At least right now. She's got an open mind. She's changed her alignment. Why not change her mind later? I don't know.
I mean, she calls her weapon the oiled up bone daddy. So I just needed to
Well,
clarify.
that is true. I did name it that.
You did. It
I
is
did. I
indeed
sure
there.
did.
And I believe that someone was also. Uh, Last week we left. So hi everyone. I should go back to this. Hi, I'm your friendly neighbor Prax. Welcome to this shenaniganry. We're going to have lots of fun, and there will be choices that the players have to make. One of which will be incoming in the 30, in the near future. But I would like to remind everyone playing at home that you can, if you repost our go live post on Blue Sky at 10 reposts, the players get a treat, but at 20, I get a little present. And they're gonna get something interesting today anyways, but they all had some interesting questions that were kind of answered as they met Karistan the wizard in his tower. The fun that was had by multiple people. And then also additionally, there were some times discovering new stories about old weapons and people discovering connections and ties. And when we left off, I believe Ursa was attempting to use the axe to divine the location to see if she could define
They
the
told me
location.
not to during breakfast. I should be outside at least. So
Yes.
I thought about it. I was like, oh, and they were like, no, not in here. And I was like, oh,
That
okay.
is true. You did decide not to do it during breakfast, and I mean that seems valid. Maybe don't draw a
That's
big old
what
great
I
axe
accepted
during...
with my new neutral status. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, maybe that does make sense.
You know,
Sure.
Maybe not while you're at the table. Like that seems
Yeah.
like a not at the table kind of thing.
Yeah, chaotic Ursa would have said, fuck it, who cares? But neutral Ursa's like, you know what? You're probably right. It's probably out of pocket. Maybe a little out of line.
And then, but you have a choice before you. Two paths that you know of. And one path leads to a blade stolen and to, as you've discovered through dreams, being used as a trophy in the city of the Orc Horde in a temple of Grumsh. Or the blade that is being held by a perhaps minor chieftain of the Ice Barbarian tribe, which is politically complicated for a variety of reasons, not the least of which is technically they're your vassal state, or one of them, and technically, just possibly maybe thinking about it, it's tied, these blades are, tied to, a great power in the north that might possibly upend various political, current political alliances. I'm just saying it's a possibility. So where do you wish to go?
The option with the least immediate consequences is the political route. The option with the most immediate consequences, however, we do have a lot of money. Maybe we could just hire a really good thief.
That doesn't involve us killing a lot of orcs.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're mainly here to find the swords, not.
I'm pretty sure Yrsa's here for both.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you, Ven, but I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
Yrsa's
we
here
mentioned
for both.
murdering orcs, and I felt like a deep, deep internal desire and drive to fuck up a specific orc that I've never met before.
You've never met before?
I'm pretty sure.
Then why do you want to...
I just want to feel like I want to crush their bones under a mill wheel.
Any particular reason why that specific orc?
No? I mean, not that I can think of. I mean, I don't know. I just suddenly was like, oh, there's one guy or gal.
If you never met them, and you don't know why,
yeah,
how will you know which ones would, like,
I'll know them when I see them.
You'll know. You'll
I'll just know. I'll just be like,
you'll
that's
see them.
That's the fucker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I'll drag them us over to a mill wheel and grind them into a bony, bloody pulp. Even though it sounds really inefficient, that's what I feel like I want to do, I guess.
do you really need the mill wheel, or can you just like beat them to a bloody
A
pulp?
mortar and pestle sounds like it'd be a lot more work, dear brother.
It's true. But what if the mortar is more like a stone floor and the pestle's like a pillar that you pull down?
That could be fun. That seems acceptable.
Okay.
I'm getting no negative reactions to that suggestion.
I just want to know if we have options.
No, it seems like we do. There's one particular orcish fellow that I just really hate for
And you
some
just
reason.
plan on walking in there and being like, fuck you all, but fuck you in particular.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Do you happen to see this orc before we do?
Yes.
Could you give us some advance warning so we may
Do you
prepare
want
ourselves?
like a code word? Ooh, yeah.
Or just like that one, just so we know which one.
I say those words a lot. That one over there, like when we're
I
talking
think
about.
I think the context will
Right. What if
figure
I'm
itself
like,
out.
that motherfucker is the guy?
There you go.
Okay.
Something that's blatant that we can't like miss out on.
That could also be like that. Also seems equally as likely.
You know what? You're right.
Context clues, though. I mean, if we're in the middle
Yes,
of battle,
context.
it's one
If it's
thing.
a single arc and you point at it and then run
I'll
screaming
say
at
mill
it.
wheel.
at him.
I don't talk about milling
Oh,
very often.
That's true.
Okay.
Now that we have our
Code race.
safe word, code word, whatever,
Yes.
for killing a particular orc.
Yep. Really want to murder that guy. Oh, just
Do we
grinds
want to
my
save that
gears.
for dessert? And eat our vegetables, the politics first?
I hate eating vegetables, but I
What
guess.
is going to be better? Doing the killing first and then doing the quote unquote boring stuff, or boring stuff and then fun stuff for you?
Go either way. If you want to do boring stuff, let's do boring stuff.
I mean, if we do boring stuff, if we go to the city, we'll be able to maybe get things to then be able to better.
That's a
Yeah.
good
and
idea.
who knows? We may be ambushed
Maybe
by
that
orcs
fellow-
from there. So maybe
That
we'll get
could
some
be.
information on the way.
That could be. You've convinced me.
Convincing.
Well,
Excellent.
now that that's settled.
Plus, we don't really even know where this orc city is.
I'm pretty sure I could find it. Like how
true.
I found the first sword. Just hold out my axe, and it'll tell me where to go.
I don't know if that's very healthy, you know?
The swords are drawn to the others, so that may have more credence than initially would be. You know, we did find the other ones this way.
That's
All right,
fair.
then. Let's
Let's
head
go to
back
the city.
to home, I guess, on our way.
So, what I'm hearing is that you're heading to.
Old
Attempt-
chieftain. Yeah.
Yes.
Ice barbarians. And we'll fight orcs for dessert afterwards.
Okay.
We picked which sword we're going for first.
That's okay. I have it here. I have it here.
I don't remember the name of that one, but the one in the orc city was soccer.
Yep. Stalker, and then the other.
Is with a Fruzuti chieftain. Although I wrote it as fruity for some reason on my notes. I think I missed the Z.
Yeah, I think you missed.
Because
the Z.
it spells fruities. It's like got the Z at the end. That's how I know it's supposed to be Fruzuti. But it's fruity Z. Like fruities. Right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that now.
Very flamboyant.
Wait,
apparently.
I had it. Where is the? Moving
Just
all
so-
They just grow winter melons. Just all melons.
We're all on the
moving
same
all of my
page.
notes, moving all of my notes.
Some of us just
None of us
misspelled
have
things.
enemies in this city that we know of, do we? Are we all?
I mean,
mean,
my
there-
sister. and
There
her-
could be
her little
X's
dog.
there. But I don't know where they all are. The ones who aren't dead.
I was gonna say, aren't some of them dead?
Yes, some of them are dead.
Let's see.
Got
I mean,
around.
statistically, that happened.
It's statistically it happened. My husband died. I'm a tragic widow.
So tragic.
Yeah.
So sad.
I mean, yeah, I was. Then I got better.
I don't think that's how that works.
What do you mean? You get sad and you move on.
I don't think you call that getting better, though.
Then what do you call it?
It's just, moving on. I think you just cut off the first part and just say moving on.
Oh. Noted. I mean, I had a kid to raise, so it helped distract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It helped distract, of course.
Yeah.
When
How
was the
sad I
last time
was.
we went to go see him again?
It's a while ago. He's fine. He's not a baby anymore. He's just a kid now.
And alright. He was, 25 last time we saw him?
Around there, yeah.
I'm basically an adult at that point.
Yeah.
In some cultures.
In some, but he's a. There we go. Okay, where's the?
More to your point on enemies, outside of Yrsa's older sister and my estranged
Yeah, that's true.
uncle, no.
Oh, yeah, I try not to think about her. She's a real bitch.
So is her little dog.
Yes.
She and her little dog too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So you're moving. It will come to me. Hold on, I have to find it. I'm furiously looking through notes, and
You're fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe exes and my older sister. Those are the main people. And maybe that one orc guy are the main people that might hate me, I think.
So that orc guy knows you, but you don't know them.
I don't know that. I don't know if they know me or not. I have very strong feelings towards them.
okay. Sorry, harmonizer. There we go. I was like, I could find it.
Harmonizer.
Mm-hmm.
Stalker and harmonizer.
From the visions, you know that Stalker is in the Orc City, and Harmonizer is possibly in the hands of
The not fruity chieftain.
Yep. The not Frizzuti chieftain. Technically, the Frizzuti are the Frost Barbarians, and
Yeah.
it's a ice barbarian who has Harmonizer.
All right.
And you have Green Swath and Dreamsinger. The scimitar and a broadsword. For reasons. So you are making your way. Malin is not accompanying you. You are down to the four of you yourselves. You know that you need to. Okay. You are currently here in White Fanged Bay, like right at the bottom of White Fanged Bay. This little inlet area. And you know that the home of the Ice Barbarians, your Platz, is over here. So you have two ways you could go about this. Over land or by sea. If you go over land, you're going to go through the hold of the Stonefist and, possibly various other things. You might find refuge in the homes of the dwarves, but you also have the possibility of, like, the dragons that live in the Griff Mountains and Korsak Mountains. Kursk Mountains, excuse me. Also other things that live in the mountains that don't like a lot of you. Or you could go by sea and have the problem of icebergs and possibly other large, sea serpents.
Drowning's much easier in
As
full
long
plate
as we
mail.
only have one door that only one person can fit on, I think we'll be okay.
Props to you for that one, Lindy. I appreciate it.
Oh well,
Land.
yeah,
We've got horses.
I'm partial to land.
Yeah.
Land it is.
All right. Don't get to
So how
beat
are
everybody
you
else off the door.
going to do this?
We have horses. Go, Nis.
Do you have horses? It's a good at least 3 weeks overland.
Are we given a timeline?
No, I'm just letting you know the timeline.
At
That it
least
is
3
not
weeks.
going to be a quick movement, that it will
Yeah.
take a while. So, as you make your way out of the Tower of Karistan, leaving your dear new friend Malin behind with his instructor, as they going to be very nerdy and possibly deal with a suffocated dead assassin in one of the archive rooms.
You just come back and they're both dancing like, oh, I guess it didn't work out then. Oops. It's like, oh no.
That would be awful.
That would be awful. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So, who's leading the charge and wants to make me that first survival check?
Oh, I
Ben
can.
is typically our leader on that.
Yeah. Except for when I
When the sword wants to. When the sword wants to.
Yeah, no. Yours is content to sit back for this one and just, bring up the
All right, let's do it. 16.
16.
Oh.
Very important. Just so I'm aware. Just so I'm aware. Ven has Green Swath and
Mhm.
Gunnar has Dreamsinger. Cool. Good,
Mhm.
cool. 16. It's an early day. The sun is shining. You're following the coast. You're heading east. It's not hard to follow the coast east and north. It gets a little colder as you ride. But for right now, the day is yours.
Just riding along. I think I I tried to pick up banter with Irsa, like we usually do, just kind of shooting the shit. Because it's been kind of weird champ lately with Irsa. So I'm trying to get a semblance of that normalcy back, in where Ven's very serious. Gunnar is also a little serious, but also will chime in every once in a while, but does get sick of our shit. I just I want to make sure that Irsa is still in there. My silly goofy friend Irsa is still there. So
She's definitely more serious than a week ago. But is willing to, especially if it's lewd, shoot the shit a bit, but doesn't initiate maybe as often as she normally once would have.
it's it's not so much pulling teeth, but it is a little bit more pulling the conversation.
Yes, you there would be a noticeable difference. Yeah. Not disturbingly so, maybe, but just oh, that's, yep, okay.
Something is changing. Okay, I will log that in the old noggin.
Mhm.
As we continue on. But
She's a lot more
that's what I'll
indifferent
be
about
doing.
certain things. Maybe a little more selfish. Yeah.
Like
A more neutral
will-
stance.
like our game of what is that? You take it more seriously because
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
could always see what it was, but you indulged before, and now I'm like, oh, look over there at those rocks over there. That looks a little bit, not a lot of it. Let's be honest. It looks a lot of bit like a frost giant smacking a mage's tower, right?
I mean, it kind of looks more like the rubble of a mage's tower, but sure.
I,
I think you'll hear like I think you might hear Van just like I think it looks like a bunny.
Oh.
And Gunnar's at the back going, no tower innuendo? What the hell's going on?
Oh. Sorry, I guess I just took it a bit literally this time. Just been distracted.
what? We're just riding. There's literally nothing between us and the next 200 miles of this trip.
But internally, I was wondering how long it would take to grind somebody up with a mortar and pestle.
Well, what have you come up with?
I think I reached a conclusion that I'd have to try it first to find out. And then calculate the difference between that and then like a normal person versus an orc. Like I'd have to figure out like how much square footage of body takes per hour of pestling.
Oh, we may regret what the answer is, but why specifically mortar and pest? Why?
Well, because he said like maybe it didn't have to be a grind wheel. A mortar and pestle is more portable.
But is it
A lot
sturdy
smaller.
enough to grind bone?
Well, I don't know, so I'd have to get one and try.
Seems like a lot of work.
It does, doesn't it?
Research usually is. That's why I tried to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Or you could just roll a boulder on top of it, and you'll do most of the work.
And where do I get the? What if there's
Oh.
not a convenient boulder nearby?
We're in the mountains. You
Convenient
could probably
mortar
find
and
one.
pestle?
Well, I mean, we're going
Do
to
you have a
town
mortar and
first.
pestle?
I mean, doesn't Ven have one for cooking?
You can't use ours. That's for cooking.
Thank you,
Oh.
Ven. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Because
And if you ask, we will remember this exact moment. I will also
glad
we
this
will
came up
we
in
will also
conversation
take
now.
we will also take in consideration any other cooking implements will be questioned for use.
Oh, there are other cooking implements.
Yeah,
Yes.
like a boulder. Just use
You
a
cook with
boulder.
a boulder?
metaphorically speaking,
No, but I also don't grind up people with a mortar and pestle.
It did seem more inefficient than a mill, but mill.
Why
I mean,
why but the thing that
really want to grind.
gets
his
to us is
bones.
why the grinding. Why is it necessarily when you're
Really want to
killing?
grind his bones into dust.
and
Their
that's
bones into
not a
dust.
euphemism.
No, I feel repulsed by that idea actually, because normally it would be a very good euphemism, but with that particular individual, that is repulsive.
Okay, I just
I'm gonna ride
I
up
just
closer to
needed
Ben
to
and be
check.
like, are there like exorcisms we can do? Is there like a some sort of warding thing?
And I did some
we can
grinding
do
with an
to
orc
get-
back in the.
I
Well,
think
that's
in your head they say it's like we have options if it comes to that, and they'll kind of make like a ugh face.
Then
But like I think they'll say it's like although it's probably best at least to have her try and figure it out for herself first. Usually more permanent that way.
I don't know if we have that kind of time.
You can't rush issues of the soul, and like it's not just like.
うん
pest control. It requires a lot.
そうですね。
But I think in your head they say it's like we have options if it comes to that, and they'll kind of make like a like
You like a couple of weeks until we get to the next place. You think that's enough time?
Ven will look and like, let's see if she figures it out. Then
A
if
meat grinder.
although
Separate meat
although you know
from
that
bones.
Ven, now that we're having the secret like mind chat,
Uh-huh.
if what happened at the tower happens again, it will be, well, they'll give us no choice because you should see that. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
What? Wait, what?
yeah. Oh, the wrestling over the spirits of the soul is magnitudes less than bodily possession is something else.
Are we talking about a literal sense? Or no, I won't even say it aloud, but you'll hear me think like, do they like literally fighting
Ven will give
the
you kind of like
souls?
you know,
Or...
kind of like like bad news face and just nod their head. It's just like,
So,
during
and you
the
want to
fight,
wait?
huh?
And you want to wait? I don't. That feels like a we don't have much time left kind of thing.
Not wait. You sometimes have to put trust in people to figure out what's best for them, especially since it's a matter of their soul.
Worried about the figuring out part. I don't.
We'll put
I
it
love
this way.
Ursa
We'll put
like
it
a
this
sister,
way.
but she's not the
We'll put it-
brightest in the bunch.
We'll put it this way. If you if
Heard
there's
a
a
brain
rat
cell.
if there's a rat in the field, you don't want to burn the field to get to the rat. Sometimes the driving out has consequences.
Mm. On a completely, totally, absolutely unrelated note, do you know any stories about people going and fighting gods? Anything I should, any like literature maybe you know of about
Well,
fighting
there's
gods?
quite a bit. There's quite a bit because there are gods, and then there are many of the gods, especially the ones that are here now, that are worshipped now, used to be mortals, and they usually got that
Oh.
through usurping the previous, taking their domain.
Is the one that Irsa is dealing with? Was that one of I used to be human?
There are stories. It's a little hazy.
Mm. I guess with all the arms and stuff, I shouldn't really expect that.
But that is, I mean, there are multitudes of examples of that sort of thing happening.
Okay. Can you fight a god and then not become a god? Because that seems like a lot of responsibility.
There are many examples of that too.
I'll have to look them up when we get to the city. I'll see if I can find some of those books.
While they're having
about
that brain
it.
convo.
We
like,
think we have
hey,
several of
bro,
those books in the
Are there gods of banging?
Yes.
Why didn't you
Usu-
tell me about those sooner?
Usually they're called gods of fertility.
Oh,
It's a euphemism.
I would. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean,
I mean,
happened to me once.
what was it? The
Probably happen again.
I mean, that is where we put most of our bets on within the family. Phaeton, god of
Nice.
farming. He plows
Yeah.
a lot. If you know what I mean.
Oh, not. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just don't know why that didn't occur to me sooner before last night in the Wizard's Tower.
Mm. Well, you know,
You think I could learn Mage Hand?
it's possible.
Great. Do you know Mage Hand?
No,
Does Ven know Mage Hand?
I don't know.
I don't think Civ knows magic.
But there are those that'll teach you. That's how I learned some of the early healing skills was from
Oh.
well, as an acolyte.
Well,
when
I found
was-
out that I'm very potent because I don't know if potent's the right word. I'm freaking magical, I guess is the only way I can put it. Because that
Mhm.
wizard was wounded, and then I saw that and I was like, let me kiss and make it better, because that's what you do when someone's injured, and it actually seemed to get better.
Oh, that's an interesting application of that skill.
Let's go.
Healing.
Oh,
Can I get you all to roll
Yes.
me
absolutely,
perception
please.
checks, please?
Yes, I'd be happy to. We could all roll perception.
Everybody who wants to.
Oh.
17s.
12.
Damn.
2 17s, a 12, and an 18. The road ahead is. You're shifting slightly away from the coast at this point, moving slightly further inland as you trail along, following, toward cutting through the hold of Stonefast towards the river and the Sharak Forest. You're not going to get there anywhere near there yet, but you're making your way. It is peaceful, calming. Then it is almost meditative for you. In fact, it feels very meditative for you. Like a almost divine moment between the wanderer, as you know where you're headed, but you're not really, moving with strong purpose, right? You're not riding hard or...
Yeah.
You still have that sword with you, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Could you just roll me a wisdom saving throw, please, and thank you?
Okay. 19.
And I mean, you're not far enough away from. You're close enough to. I'm assuming you're all riding relatively close enough to Gunnar that it's within the aura.
Yeah.
And so it's a 21. But with that 21, the world seems to flicker. There's like a superimposition, like when you look at a photograph of what something looked like in 1900 on the street versus what's on the street now, Google Earth. That kind of flickering between one image and the next. One image and the next. What was and what is. And you are listening to the chatting of Yrsa and Gunnar. You can kind of still hear Civ in the back of your mind on this chat about, maybe we should intervene with Yrsa, and you see again that camp, that legion, that command tent, and the backing away from those who were about to break through the picket. Then the reformation of the line as you called forth attention to these individuals who couldn't see the benefit of Imperial rule. As the Legion reforms around you, strengthens you, your purpose is stronger. You feel more connected. And you reach out, you realize you are more connected to the people around you. There's this moment you realize that with Civ, you could just have that connection permanently. Not even have to worry about the conversation or the casting of a spell or the telepathy involved, but this permanent link between one and Gunnar. And the possibility of one with Ursa, if you wished to continue it. And this strength of bond that exists. It feels almost like being enveloped in that Legion again, that strength of camaraderie and community and the knowledge that all work together to serve the whole. And with that, you then now have a bonus. You want to make a little note for yourself. As a bonus action, number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, you can activate an aura of protection for anyone connected to you mentally, i.e. your 3 party members, within a 120-foot radius. So you can grant the aura of protection even if they are outside of your normal distance. As long as they can connect to you mentally, you can grant that benefit. But Gunnar, the road is long. It's getting a little bit colder in the air. Feeling a little bit of a chill. See a couple large prey animals, deer of some variety. And what looks like attempts by someone or something to move through this area not unviewed, but in more circumspect ways. Seems to be a larger, you might think it perhaps would be like, you know how like you get animal trails that kind of coalesce frequently. This is something like almost like a smuggler's animal trail that you seem to be crossing occasionally as you move through it.
Gotcha.
But that's pretty much it at the moment.
He'll keep an eye on it. He's not much of a tracker, but since he's noticed it, he'll keep an eye on it to see if it disappears at any point in time permanently, and just kind of make note of those kinds of things. As things do get chillier, he will kind of wistfully think about the tiny hut spell and how much he's going to miss that.
But you have time. The day has passed. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Settle in for the night.
Fertility gods, if you're out there, give your girl a holler.
Roll me a religion.
Yo, gods of boning. Okay. Yep. There we go. 9.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. What's up?
That's all. You are making camp for the night. Can I just, ask important questions now that you don't have Tiny Hut?
Yes.
What are you gonna do? What's the plan here?
Probably keep the watches the same. Because my brother and I literally only need 4 hours of sleep each. So
Mm-hmm.
take first watch, he takes second watch. And Yersa is, if anyone gets cold, Yersa is around to cuddle. And that has not changed.
Of course, tie the horses nearby.
Yep.
We set up somewhere with cover.
Put them
at
somewhere they can
least.
graze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's not
Covers,
easy to
yeah.
find. It's it's not like heavy forested area, but enough woodlands and open plains that there's a mix of like
A cloister of
Yeah,
trees. We can just
exactly.
find a little, yeah.
a crops of trees, a cloister kind of stuff that you can find. Some occasional farmlands out here, but mostly just
Mm-hmm. Then cooks.
Mm-hmm.
I eat food. I work out. Civ.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, calisthenics.
Calisthenics. Some pre-bedtime calisthenics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anyone else working hard hardly working?
You said, is yours taking the first watch?
You
Correct.
still take first watch.
Okay.
She normally hates waking up early, but she has been lately to exercise.
Okay.
You
Good
know
to
what?
know.
Since you're so, we'll have a little bit of a telepathic group huddle with the remaining 3.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think then we'll first of all ask Gunnar what he thinks about the situation with Yrsa and Hector. How it's
Hexter doesn't demand that you become evil.
but Hector did possess her sister's body for a brief period of time.
Oh.
And I figured someone that had that emotional tie, closeness, opinions should be weighed heavily on how we should go about this.
If that was done without consent, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, bro. I wasn't conscious. I mean.
Yeah. So unable to give consent, that would be, that's unacceptable. We need to have a talk with.
And if it were to come to forcibly exercising Haxor's influence with we're not going to necessarily sugarcoat this, that there could be some spiritual consequences to yours. So still, if we managed to expel Haxor's, it's not doing that sort of getting rid of that sort of hold is often not clean. It's effective, but
depends on the intent of the possessor.
Which, considering our possessor, should plan for the worst on that.
Yeah.
My opinion was hopefully relying on Ursa figuring out if that's necessarily for the best. Civ, what was your opinion on this? If you want.
I mean, I would like whatever hold this thing has on Irsa to go away as soon as possible. Irsa's not the type to be held down. I think we all know that. She likes to be of her own free will, a free spirit, as some may say. So, if there is a power out there that has an interest in Irsa and has the ability to take control of them, and in this case, I mean, Irsa seemed no different to me after the battle. So Irsa may not even be aware. So near to death, they may not have even known, like you said. It was probably without her consent, but I'm worried that she might have given consent, haven't been asked. And that's the concerning part to me, because that doesn't seem like something that Irsa we know would do. But if it's, like you say, the soul is at danger here from any forcible movement, I think we may just need to be more aggressive on our campaign to rid Irsa of this. And it, as much as it may pain me to say, it might be getting rid of that axe. Is there a way? I mean, I know you can identify magic item. Is there a way to unmagic an item or destroy a magic item?
Would I know a way? Because this is not the small item. This is a big, important. It has the power.
I think
Paxos.
we would have a better chance of separating the two if we were swapping it with something else, like one of these other swords.
What? I mean,
But
if
there's also
this
the
next...
to bring something up, there's also danger that we're replacing one parasite with another parasite.
And you think these swords are parasites?
Not necessarily parasites, but just something similar of a kind.
Usually you have to fight fire with fire.
Has Irsa held the Yorblood sword? Gunnar? I forget the name of a dream singer.
At one point, yeah, and it tingled.
It tingled. I was just thinking about the interaction because she's had the axe at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a disastrous interaction, at the very least.
Correct. She held both at once.
Well, I mean, I guess hopefully the next one is one that Irsa can hold, and maybe we can leave behind that axe instead of carrying it with us
also
to
willing to
Orkhold.
pass on Dream Singer to her if that's appropriate.
If they'd be willing, as you said, it's a parasitic kind of guy.
Just
sort of,
parasite is maybe the strong term for it, but it reaches out in a similar manner.
like you two have had like two different experiences with your swords. Like I'm just kind of getting that vibe that you like One of you seems a little bit more favorable to it than the other. Would we like to speak about that while we're here?
I've had no
Like-
intrusive maneuvers made by this sword so far. It's given me insights, it's provided me visions, but it's never forced its will upon me.
Are you sure?
Yes?
Has your sword tried to enforce its will upon you?
It has tried to remind us of certain things. Past
Like-
things.
Past lives? Oh.
Yes.
In like a threatening manner?
Not in a threatening manner, but in a manner that benefits its wants and its needs.
Huh.
Just have to remember, while these may be holy relics, they do have wants and needs that drive them. And while they may work with their god, they might not be in concert with yourself.
Well, it's this prophecy thing, right? Like, I was in and out of the listening, but like, there's this big thing that's gonna happen, and these are the only things that can stop it.
Prophecy is messy work. You don't exactly know how it's used. You don't know exactly who saw what, or the manner in which they were shown it. There are always things missing. There are always things that are hidden to make sure it comes about.
Hmm.
Prophecy is never as straightforward as you think it is. And prophecy might not be kind to the ones who cause it to happen.
You think
Just remain
that's why
cautious.
the sword keeps trying to show you your past lives?
We think it wants what its creators wanted, which was apparently, yes, for it to fulfill the prophecy, do what it was created for.
Hmm.
Just because it's doing what it's doing doesn't mean it's necessarily good for us or bad for us. It is what it is.
Well, I mean, one way or another, it seems like we're stuck with it, whether we like it or not.
Mhm.
With that being said, Gunnars doesn't seem to be trying to convince them one way or another, so maybe I won't try and convince Yrsa one way or another. I mean, I guess there's only one way to find out, but
Think of it this way: we are more receptive and sensitive to that sort of thing, considering what we are.
understandable. I would have took a call. I'll be right back.
We are trying not to put any value judgment on the swords, but just remember what they are and not to trust them wholeheartedly.
Of course.
Ursa, you're on watch.
I sure am.
Could you roll me a perception check?
I would love to. 10.
It's a nice night.
Beautiful night. Great night.
No
Updating
bad
my little
weather
black
coming
book.
in. Mm-hmm.
Leaving a review of last night.
Like I said, very good stamina. Also very flexible. Mage
Yeah.
hand, very useful.
Yeah, we're looking at like a 9.2.
I could see it.
Yeah.
He also has a lot of a variety of useful control spells.
Yep, 9.2. Yours is just updating her little Yelp book. Feels like that way she shouldn't have to remember everything about everybody. If she meets somebody and like they're like, "Oh, it's good to see you again," she can like flip through the book and be like, "Oh, they were like a 3. Let's not engage with that."
Yep. Nice night, no rain. You're
Yep.
good.
Mhm.
As you all proceed to rest.
Oh, I had a question.
Yeah.
Can I figure out, like, if there's something like something like ceremony that could mute the influence of Haxor or any deity for a period of time. We could talk to Yrsa without having that little voice in her ear.
Basically, make a Faraday cage for the divine.
Yeah.
A divine Faraday cage.
Roll me. Ooh, this will be interesting. Because of who
Because I would like to,
are.
except the way I'm like mechanically, like I want to be able to do that, but not have be like the permanent. Because I think like that's a bigger deal. To, like,
Yeah,
but just
no,
like
I see what you're talking about.
Mhm.
What? I'm gonna be nosy and look at your sheet for a second, because
Mhm.
Legend loring my axe might help at some point, just to see if there's anything else that pops up about it. but,
ceremony's on there. I have it on a different thing.
yeah, no. I would say
Clerics just prepare spells.
yeah, because clerics just prepare spells. It's
Any
whichever
cleric
one you want to
spell.
have. Roll me a religion or an arcana. You will get slightly different information with either one, but you'll get something.
I'm gonna have to, yeah, like regardless, like it has to be religion. I think it is definitely of that. 26.
26. Okay,
Nice.
so I'm going to give you some straightforward information, and then you can ask me 5 questions.
Mhm.
You think you could build like a Faraday cage, basically a divine Faraday cage, so that you could do this, but it might be more effective rather than on Ursa than on the weapon itself.
Mhm.
You also know, like Lindy said, that legend lore might give you more information about the axe.
Mhm.
Like legend lore gave you more information about the
Yeah. Because if it's the axe that's letting him possess me, you just gotta get that axe away.
I think
Yeah.
Ven's thing is like she doesn't want to, like, it's not the axe is like is a conduit, but I think it's like figure out if this is something that Yrsa wants.
yeah.
And not necessarily like it's Ven wants to gauge whether it's something that Yrsa like truly wants, and not if it's without and wants to figure that without the influence of the axe or Haxor kind of like kind of modifying that thought pattern necessarily.
So all of this is true. And the third thing that you would know with that 26 based on religion, any divine, like, let me phrase this way. Any divine being can possess anyone, in theory, right? Like,
yes. I mean,
but Hextor is not one of the ones who's in it for the take control of a body and force people to do things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's not usually in his playbook. At least to your recollection.
Yeah.
Now, you have 5 questions you can ask me. You're pretty sure you can modify your spells ritually. You could ritually modify, we'll say ceremony, because I think that's the best fit here. For a period of time to basically like consecrate an area that you can leave the axe in and have that be a like divine Faraday cage for a short period of time. But like I said, you can ask me 5 questions.
What do we need?
Needs to be a tiny bit more specific.
What ingredients or what components do we need for this?
Oh, it would be the standard components for consecrate version of, or literally consecrate rather than ceremony. Hallow, I guess, would be the best version of it, right?
Okay.
I think it's like chalk and look, I don't have all of those in front of me. I should be able to look at that. Why do I not have all of that in front of me? But Yeah, the ingredients for. Come here. Come here, spell list.
All right, another question. I guess how much time
Yeah,
would it take
it's
to set this up? Like with normal ceremony, or is this going to require like us being in a certain area for for like
herb.
a day or
It'd be
two?
herbs, oils, incense, and yeah, herbs, oils, and incense.
Okay.
And usually, if you were doing this as like hallow to make it permanently hallow, it would take
Hmm.
24 hours. But what
Hmm.
you're doing is basically you could do it probably in an hour.
Okay.
You're not doing a
Oh,
full.
so we wouldn't have to like we could do it on the road then.
Yes, in theory, you could
Okay.
do it on the road.
Is there anything special that we need to do as far as like ourselves to prepare for it?
No, nothing special you need to do.
Hmm. What are the negative side effects that could come about with doing this?
Hmm. The biggest negative side effect that you can think of would
Hmm.
be that you would draw the attention of something else.
Mm.
Not Hextor, not your deity, but something else might,
Right.
take an interest. But you feel that that's a low probability.
Okay. Hmm. I can't think of anything else. That's kind of
Anyone else could answer as well.
yeah, yeah. Anything? Hmm.
You can just bank them if you want.
Yeah, I can bet. I'll.
Bank those extra questions.
Yeah.
Unless other people have. So you
Yeah.
still have 2 questions that you could ask, but you can also bank them in case you come
Yeah.
up with an idea later.
All right. Yeah. So, any questions on like we're gonna try and like further cage the so Hexer won't be able to influence and just talk to Ursa. Any other questions? We've already said that like it's basically like ceremony
Or
and
actually consecrate. It's
or consecrate.
closer to consecrate.
Closer to consecrate. That amount of the same amount of components takes about an hour to set up, so we can probably do it on the road. Any other questions that? And there's a small possibility that it could incur notice by some other entity, not Vensgod nor Haxor. So, and anything else? Good to go. Or else we can just bank it and we'll figure it out later.
I think banking it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, banking is probably a good idea.
Hmm.
Gunnar can't shake the idea that Hextor was potentially protecting his newly minted paladin
Hmm.
because she was in imminent danger when she went down.
I mean, that is something we'll get to the bottom of necessarily.
But I also think that there needs to be some sort of exchange because with complete purging, you're going to have the consequences that you've talked about as being a higher risk. If we're swapping to a different ego, but this one is lesser because it's arcane and not divine, it'll be easier to separate that one from her than it will be to separate her from a god's influence.
Hmm.
Thinking of it more like a 6-step plan rather than a one-shot fix.
Well, this isn't a one shot. This is just to talk to Ursa without the influence.
Right, right.
Yeah. I think then we'll bring that up to both of them and just like, what do you think? We next time we rest, we bring this up with Ursa and try and have this talk, do this ceremony, and we can figure out clear to a more clear degree whether or not it's something that she wants. Because if it's something that she wants, that's up to her.
Yes, I
If
think
if
we're
not,
early enough.
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we're early enough that whatever hold this god may want on Irsa is not strong enough to prevent her from wanting her, freedom. I think she'll go for it.
What do you think in the morning? We do it. We have last watch. We can prepare.
I think so. Yeah, wake up with a fresher mind,
Mm-hmm.
fresher body. Let her get out of calisthenics,
Mm.
I think that'll help, like, go over the hump if there's something to holding her back.
And we will prepare while everyone sleeps, and in the morning we'll have that talk.
Okay, sounds like a good plan. And if not, I'm gonna be reading up on this god stuff and how to deal with them. Because how dare they? Honestly,
Not entirely all bad.
no, but this one is. So
Yes.
well, sounds like we're gonna need a full night's sleep for this one.
Full night's sleep. Yes.
So you make your way to rest.
Wake up my bro, and it's time for his watch. Well, he should wake up naturally because we're elves. We don't have to wake up. We just go. Time to swap watches. It's like,
Time to make the donuts.
yep. And I go meditate.
Enjoy.
Yep. Could you roll me a perception check, please, Gunnar?
I can make that roll. 23.
Quiet night, nothing there. Some praying, deer. And a possum. Making their way around. All in all, easy night. You do notice one thing just a touch odd.
Which is?
Ven glows.
Ooh.
Any particular color?
Not really. It's
Okay.
it's a little odd because again, you have dark vision, right? And dark vision is in grayscale, so it's that level of like heat sensing. Not quite.
Got it.
You know. A little bit warmer on the grayscale viewing.
Gotcha.
Just little things.
I don't think telling Ven that they were radiant while they were sleeping will come off as anything other than creepy, so I'll keep that to myself. Unless it needs to be said.
Fair. But the night is done, passes easily. You all awaken, fully rested, fully ready to begin your day. Hey, I need somebody to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, that would be me.
Big bro.
Oh, 19.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
you're good. You're so good.
Getting easier.
Yeah, feeling better, healthier. Almost like something's made you better. But how do you wish to proceed?
I think Ven had prepared the thing, but I think they would ask Gunnar to kind of like explain the process to Tirsa. Well,
Yrsa,
Good morning.
good morning. It seems I've been informed that some things happened in the last battle that may or may not have been to your liking, but you were unaware of them. With your permission,
Uh-huh.
we would like to attempt to mute the axe so we can speak to you without Hextor's influence.
You think he's in the axe?
We think it's a conduit that he uses to speak to you,
That's like a
like a sending stone.
right. Okay, that
But
would make
axe-shaped.
sense.
I mean, he is a war god.
Axe-shaped sending stone. Yeah. No. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
that makes
we'd
sense.
just like to
What
kind of
happened that I don't know?
we'd prefer to have that conversation when he's not listening.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Excellent.
Excellent.
He'll give a nod to Ven at that point.
Then could you roll me a spellcasting roll?
okay, spellcasting roll.
Just to, for reasons. Totally chill reasons.
17.
Cool, thanks, good to know.
All right. I think when everyone comes to the field, there are like it is quiet, silent. Various objects have kind of been put in various spots on a pattern, like kind of like scratch, like kind of like dug into the ground. See, like everywhere there's some salt. There are some rocks, specific rocks, not from the area, probably from Ven's pack. And sitting on, there are two kind of mats, and Ven is sitting on one of them. Holding the staff. Ah, Yrsa. So you've agreed. Morning.
Yes. Good morning.
It's not active yet. And thank you for putting your trust in us and agreeing. Matters of the
You're
soul
making
aren't.
this sound very serious.
It is very serious. It's a matter of the soul, Yrsa. This is like going into battle for us.
That's fun. So this
Analogy,
should be
maybe.
fun.
Life or death.
I'm confused.
sort
If
of
it should be
thing.
serious or fun. That's just sure. She just sits down confused. Like you said,
I
it
think
seems
Venel
serious,
says
but then you
usually
said
that
battle,
they'll
which
just like,
is
oh, it's like,
fun.
that analogy is maybe not the.
Yeah,
um,
it's like taxes. Oh, serious. And warming. Yeah, I'll sit down.
So when we
Don't you sit
complete,
like you, cross-legged?
however you
straight
want,
up?
for at least comfortably,
Yeah.
and we will talk, which includes all of us. But I have to be in the center to some things to have this work. It has to be equal, and we have to give something up as well.
Are we
So,
giving up our souls?
Not you.
No. Okay.
Just the influence of Haxor, if there is one, upon you.
Okay.
Your soul will stay exactly where it is. And they will... Well, they are not in the immediate circle. They will be able to talk as well. So this will be a conversation between all of us.
Okay.
In case certain things go... seem different with us. So...
Right. I'm sure you'll all explain it more once we get going.
So Ven will put the staff down and kind of reach out for Nurse's hands,
Ooh, hand holding.
and they will sing in not necessarily language that any of it. It will be like celestial of some sort,
Mm-hmm.
and after about 2 minutes of that singing, the spell will be cast.
You cast your Faraday cage, you feel it settle around you. This slight disconnect. You know that the Wanderer sees and knows you, but there's this moment of quiet in your mind, Ven. You know that you are currently not being observed by anything divine.
Oh. We are not Ven at this point, or I am.
No, you're
We had
not.
to give something up. I am now the body. So it's done. How do you feel?
Do I feel any different?
You could roll me perception.
That's
or
a great
insight.
question. Let's go with perception. She's more perceptive. 13.
Doesn't feel like there's any difference per se. You know.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Oh, good. And she'll wave at
Am I supposed
Civ and she'll wave at Civ and Gunnar. It's like, good morning. No, it's not. You're not supposed to feel any different. If you weren't feeling any different before, I guess it's a good sign. And I guess I'll start. And is this something you want?
What's something? I mean, I would like breakfast. at some point.
Pledge your soul to the service of Haxor, that a deity.
Seems like a lot of work, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work.
Mm. That's why I kind of hadn't done it up to this point, you know. But I mean, if deities are interested in me, what can I do about it, you know?
You can still be your own person. You don't have to take that offer if you don't want to.
Well, I haven't said yes to anything yet.
Mm-hmm. How are you feeling about that?
Well, honestly, I was expecting more reach outs from other deities. I think at this point she's like, man, she's like, it just so far only Hexlor is the one who's been like, hey girl, hey. And no one else is. Everyone else has been very quiet.
If it's like something like the others say, that it's when one deity is in the process of acquiring, the other ones tend not to.
Oh. So
otherwise
this
it's
is my girl.
chaos.
You stay
Otherwise it's
away.
chaos. Usually
Right.
they stay until something dire happens or the entity in question denies. Will
Right.
decline.
He seems really into me. Like, a little too into me, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know if he's just kind of desperate or if, I'm just that cool. But, could be a combination of the two.
You feel like he's getting possessive?
He seems pretty confident that no other deity could light a candle to his splendor and that I should definitely want to be with him.
Mm.
He said that, it's the one who plows couldn't handle me. That was a line he said.
Ah, well, you
Yeah.
might break him in two. It's true.
Really? I thought gods would be more durable.
Their avatars are not always.
I mean, I could be gentle.
Yes, I'm sure you can.
I didn't break the wizard.
Ben will laugh. Or yeah, but
It's true, you didn't break the wizard.
Didn't break the wizard. He was able to walk and everything.
I guess first things to the first. Do you know what that necessarily requires? Like what it means to
Someone not able to walk?
no
Yes.
no well, no the being charged with the god, being vessel for the
No
god.
idea.
No
No.
idea.
Not really. No, I kind of slept through any of those types of classes. It's been more of Gunnar's thing, and I like to try to let him have his thing.
Yeah.
Because he's, wasn't around a lot. So.
I can share. I'm perfectly happy.
You can have your own thing. It's fine.
Okay.
You can share, I can share. We can all share what that means, just so that Yrsa can get a better idea of what the consequence of this. It is great.
The big concern here, Yrsa, to be blunt, is that
Right.
during the combat with the giants, you got knocked unconscious and
I did.
you stayed standing, but with black
And
eyes.
I thought I blacked out for a second. What do you
and-
mean my eyes changed color?
Yes.
You do that?
Basically, all the signs of possession. And I'm worried about there being a lack of consent involved,
Okay.
which would make Hextor a negative influence if he feels entitled to your body.
Right. Like, I knew he was into me, and I'm usually fine with people in me, but, like, not like that. Like, I'm not used to people being me. That's new.
Yeah.
I don't remember this. I remember getting bunked, and then, like, everything was a little hazy for a minute, and then I felt Ven's healing magic,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was like, woo, and I felt re-energized, and then, like I didn't even fall unconscious, I don't think, because, like, I was still standing. Oh, but then I was, I see what you're saying now.
Yes. The fact that
Right.
he relented at Van's healing makes it less concerning than if we had to forcefully ask him to relent.
Right. So when I was unconscious, he, like, took over. I go unconscious a lot.
Mhm.
This is
It
the
was
first
deadly.
time it's happened.
And you did bring up a good point that it could have been entirely protective, because
Right.
if you're trying to basically have a follower, you don't want them dying.
Right. Did he say anything weird?
No, nothing. Just
Oh.
the eyes, and then just
Black eyes.
the important thing, I guess, to
Did I look
consider
cool?
is it looked a little frightening,
Little.
but
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
one thing to consider is that the violence did not continue once the giants were dead. Did not continue on us, just on the giants.
Right. He didn't say anything about it afterwards.
Oh, that's a little concerning.
Didn't say anything before either.
Did he say anything to you?
You know,
in
he's been
the
real quiet since
in
then,
the intervening
actually.
nights, like the night of, or any of the other nights up until today?
Well, you know, he said some things. Not since we fought the giants. He's been pretty quiet. Um, oh, I did get really mad about the orcs. That now that I'm here, that may have been him being mad about the
Are you,
orcs.
how about right now? What are you?
Do I
Oh yeah,
feel that
that's a good
desire
that's
to,
good
to
tip. That's good.
grind that orc's bones now?
He is very
So-
anti-Grummish, as I understand.
Yeah.
So, as you're asking that question about how you feel,
How
about
do I feel?
and you roll me religion at advantage.
Dokie. Religion at advantage. What about 9, baby?
Okay.
-1. That could roll way worse.
It could have been worse. With a 9,
Mm-hmm.
you think the grindstone imagery is really, really important,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily literally grinding his bones. But there's
Oh.
something about that grindstone imagery that's like you remember vaguely hearing in a like flipping through a textbook once, and
Oh,
like
God.
it kind of popped in your mind because you remember there like being like a sidebar with a picture that was kind of interestingly cool, but you don't
Uh-huh.
remember what the actual text said.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
was pretty
like,
bad at school.
you know, it's like, oh, I kind of remembered this vague thing, but I don't know
Yeah.
why it's important.
Okay, so it's less like I feel really strongly about it now, and more like I don't think it's like the imagery of the grindstone is important, but I don't remember why.
But the important thing is do you want that? Do you want to feel that? Because for
Yes.
for me and being tied to them, you kind of have to take the god in their totality. You kind of have to take them at everything, even
Like marriage.
not marriage, just what they believe, what they feel. Like for me, it meant having to not put down roots,
Huh.
to always move. And not necessarily being myself anymore.
Right.
And for what I did, it was a more extreme example, but for you, it will be lesser, but nonetheless vital.
See.
If you do this, you will be pledged to them. You will
For like
feel
ever. There's no like divorce.
there is, but it is
Yes.
unpleasant
I've heard divorce
and
is messy.
dangerous.
Yes.
But
Well, because you like marry somebody, you have to accept even if they
violence,
snore at
you-
night. You just have to like certain things.
yeah,
I
know
get it.
you
Yes.
you like the fighting. You love the fighting, right?
I do like
Yeah,
fighting.
right.
Yes.
See, you like
Yes.
the fighting and
I
the
do like fighting.
fighting and the sex. Yes, yes.
Yes. Two of my favorite things.
Yeah, but Hexer has a lot of things that there's a lot of tyranny, murder.
He's very condescending towards
Yeah.
others when he talks about. He made notes in my book, and I like pull out my book, and there's like red ink.
I guess the important thing is like you like the
Rude.
fighting. What about the fighting do you like? What's important to you about the fighting? That's
Well, it's fun
Mhm.
because I get to really like show off my muscles
Mhm.
and overpower my opponents
yeah,
and survive.
yeah.
Yes. I usually don't instigate the fights, usually. And if I do, it's usually not to the death or whatever.
And do you want to take the people that they know and impose your will? Is that important to you, or is it the fight?
It's more
Do
just
you
the
care what
fight.
happens to them after the fighting? Because
depends
that
on who
is
it
also
is.
equally important to Hexer. Being
Oh,
able to instigate violence upon others afterwards. Ones that don't fight,
Mm-hmm. Oh, people who don't fight are that's kind of boring.
And that is a large part of Hexer's domain. Is the fighting is there, but there's also the domination and the
Oh,
exertion,
see, I'm a
and
switch.
the pain
Like,
is part of it.
it's not a all the time thing. Not my personal kink.
Uh,
Hmm. And
Do you
Gunnar
want
did say he was compensating for something.
yeah. Do you want the responsibility of being
A lot of
tyrannical, though?
Oh. Ooh, tyrants do have a lot of responsibility in work.
It's
It
like-
is quite.
It's like being a parent, but
Sounds a
like
bit. Oh
10
no.
times
It's
worse.
like being. It's like being a parent, but everyone hates you a
Yeah.
little bit.
See, kids
So
just go through
parenting
phases of
teenagers.
hating you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, he's not a teenager yet, so I don't know what that's like. I mean, 10 kids. I mean, you don't have to like. If you're a tyrant, it just kind of sounds like you have to be a tyrant all the time. Whereas, like right now, we've got babysitters. I'm like, I'm not momming right now.
Yeah, it's an all the time kind of thing.
Oh, it's like 10 times, like having 10 kids, but like worse than kids.
Yeah, people that hate you and want you to die.
That sounds like kind of a drag.
I
Like
think.
how am I gonna get game if people are like
Mhm.
scared of me all the time?
Exactly.
Like
I think-
Scaroused is one thing, but like
I think
You
Ven
want them
will.
to be
I think-
afraid in the curious sense.
Oh, so I think I think
Yes.
Ven will wave at Civ and just like, hey, what do you think?
hmm,
What do you think about this, Civ? Is your friend?
I just, I just don't think that you would, this is your thing. I just don't think that, like, you want to be the vassal of some boring god.
well then what I mean, but what do I do? Do I just say, hey buddy, I'm not interested, yo?
More or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
There might be some.
But what if he
there might be
says like, too bad, so sad, should have called your dad?
he can't. If you haven't
Can't.
pledged yourself,
It's true, I
doesn't have
haven't
that
said
hold.
yes.
There might be some vindictiveness, but your soul will be your spirit will
Right.
be yours.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And we'll
I
be
do
here.
feel like I've changed over the past week, maybe a little bit. Doing some self-reflection.
God. Do you like the new you at all, or do you miss the old you?
It's a good question. Do you feel less spontaneous? Read chaotic? I feel less spontaneous these days. I don't know how I feel about it.
Definitely less fun.
Also, I care a little less about other people.
You do seem to be a little less fun.
Oh god. I seem to be less
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Am I a drag?
Yeah.
Oh god.
I'm sorry to say.
This is why didn't you tell me sooner?
I wanted to say something, but I needed to make sure.
But Civ did like the fact that you're doing calisthenics with her.
I don't think I
wasn't
hate
the
the
same
calisthenics as maybe as I thought I would.
We'll see how you feel after the fact, but it's fine. I understand either way.
Right.
All I want is for you to be happy.
Right. Does this mean I have to find like a different god? Or are we just telling him
No.
to shove off?
No,
I
you can find a god, or you can just keep doing what you've been doing.
So I've been sending like call outs.
You don't.
I mean, if you
need
want,
to
you have
replace them.
time.
It's up to you.
Yeah, you
Right.
can take your time to choose. It's not
But
you have to choose tomorrow.
You might have to replace the axe.
Oh. It's a really nice axe.
But we
Yeah.
are going for swords. If you want another
It tells
sword,
me where things are. I hold
But
it in a direction.
If you like that,
Mhm.
we could see if Dream Singer tingles in the right way.
or we are going for another sword.
True.
Whatever you prefer.
Right. Maybe the axe and I should take a break.
Exactly.
Right.
You can't be with the same person for too long, I don't think. You
I
gotta
mean, I
shop
was
around.
married once. That was like Oh, 10 years, 20 years.
And yeah, you were different then.
Well, then he died, and I became a widow. Very sad.
Yeah.
Very tragic.
But
But
if
then we
you'd like to
moved
try it
on.
out, you can start with Dream Singer and see what happens.
Well, I'll try taking a break from the axe first, because like if you've got a good thing going with Dream Singer, I don't want to get right into that.
I'm really good
know.
with my fists. It's strange wielding a sword.
Right. Cool. Because like I don't know how you feel about open weapon relationships, but you know.
I mean, we are related though, and you did say it tingles
It's
not
true.
in a negative way before.
No, it just tingled like a little.
Yeah.
Which is
So I
good.
could try it. We can see what Dream Singer thinks.
Yeah. I just know that you prefer to have a weapon in hand, and if you take a
I
break from
do.
the axe, I'd like you to
I
have
do have my
something.
old axe in my bag. I did bring it.
Okay.
It's a nice axe. So
Okay.
I do have a
And-
weapon.
I
And
just
if,
want you to feel fulfilled in battle.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
and if we
I like feeling
are,
fulfilled
and if we're,
and filled.
and once this is over, and you feel
Yes.
drawn to the axe again, immediately,
What do you mean, like?
we have
Like
permission
I'm good.
to.
Wait, once we're
we-
done with this little powwow time, we're gonna have like I'm gonna feel attracted to the axe.
Maybe, possibly.
Oh,
If that case, do you give us the do you want us to kick Haxor's butt out? Spiritually?
sure. Yes. Yes. Maybe. I mean, if I'm becoming a drag, that's kind of super lame. How am I gonna be the cool mom if I'm not fun?
True.
It's true.
You've lost
So
a bit of
you-
your whimsy. It is true.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that
So
wizard
if-
didn't notice. I was thinking of like being him up, you know.
Yeah,
So now
but
he was
you
a
didn't have anything
9.2.
to compare it to. So,
It's true. That's
Right.
true. If I get more fun, that's even more appealing.
exactly.
Mm-hmm. It's a
So
good thing he
things go
didn't know me
south.
before.
So things go south when
we're
we walk
heading
out of here
east.
and you say no to your orc boy.
I thought we were going that way.
You're okay with us to just like yoink him out of you?
Yes, if we go north, south, east, or west.
We're going
I see.
east. If he tries to
East.
take you in a different direction, we
Yeah.
will stop it.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, he did say once as we were leaving that cool dragon's place that we could just, now that we know where that is, we could sneak back and get that treasure when all of you aren't looking.
Oh,
Oh.
right.
Mm.
Mm.
Yes.
That is a little
Yeah. This is it seems like it's
Conniving.
a toxic relationship.
like, why would you have to hide that from us?
No,
I just didn't find a good point to bring it up. You've been
Mm.
talking a lot at that point, and I was kind of like, sure, whatever. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, why would he ask you to hide it from us? There's no reason for that.
I think it's because you were all would have died if we had done it then and there.
Oh,
And I was like, that's not cool. And he's like, well, we can always come back
gotcha.
without them. And then you wouldn't die, I guess. Although maybe he
Then you
was
could have
trying to
died.
be sneaky now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe he wasn't being considerate of your lives. It's hard to
I have
tell.
no idea. I don't,
don't
wish
know.
to.
And I don't know him particularly well either.
Impose.
We've only been acquainted for a few days.
Okay.
He's been
Well,
very
I think
flirtatious, though.
Well, we will consider, I guess, you and Haxor to be on a bit of a break.
We're on
once
a
the
break. We're gonna take a
ceremony's over.
break. Yeah.
Enforced break.
Yes.
All right.
Someone else want to hold on to the axe then? Put it in the bag?
I
We'll
can
put
put
it
it
in
in
the
my bag.
Okay. Yes, you.
Mhm.
You seem to be. We both seem, but you should.
Yes. Gunnar's really good at telling me no.
Hmm.
It's. I try to make it so it's like, are you sure you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Then just no, because that's not fair to you. But yes, I am pretty good.
Now
at
that I'm adult, now that I'm in my hundreds.
True.
Oh,
Sure.
you're that old.
barely.
All right.
When I was in my
Alright, well.
90s, it's a different story.
Well, I will consider this ceremony done. But before, it was nice to see you all. And Civ, I will tell them to consider the calisthenics. They're a bit stuck in their ways.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
really did
I
seem to
think it's
struggle with
good.
those stairs. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that didn't
I could,
we
yeah,
do
seem
a
that's right.
lot of
I could,
walking.
that's
totally
right.
healthy.
I could climb upstairs like no problem, but you know how they are. But that'll be for another time.
If you want to do calisthenics, I can try to convince you to do calisthenics.
I'd like to see you try. And
All right then.
Ven will. No, that's
Oh,
she was said
goodbye.
that
It
like
was nice
hopefully.
meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yes, like please. I need cardio.
As
I'm
you
begging you.
end this ceremony, this divine Faraday cage, for lack of anything better, could I please get a wisdom saving throw from Gunnar, Ven, and Ursa?
Oh, of course you can. Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad my brother's so close.
Mm-hmm.
+2.
Oh, just 22.
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
god.
29.
Oh my gosh.
Like, pop off.
Why would it be an advantage?
I have advantage on wisdom saves.
Oh, that's right, you do. Sorry. I was like, wait. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah, 20,
29.
22, 24, and 29. Hell yeah, we're rocking it.
Nothing happens. You
Right.
exit the Faraday cage. But with that 22, Ursa. You're fine. Everything's
Cool.
fine.
Great. Good talk, guys.
Mm-hmm. As it's a
Bless your
little
obliviousness.
later in the day, but before we go any further, we're going to take our break for the evening. We're going to stretch, bio, refresh. It's a little later than usual, but you know, sometimes you just gotta let things happen. So we'll see you in a little bit, everybody. And I'm sure nothing will happen because of this.
No.
Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. As you can see, Lindy had to leave us, but we wish her well. And if you want to follow all of the fun things that she does, just follow her on Laugh Love Lindy on all the socials and all the good things. Why did that not work? Because I can't type a command. There we go. Works. Yes, it does. Did I... Laugh-Lovelindy. Why do command not work? There we go, finally. Twitch be twitching. Alright, so the day has begun. You are ready to move out as you continue your way towards the home of the Yalsplart. Who is leading this day? Who's going to make your survival check? Or at least the first one.
Mental. Alright, survival. 19.
19. You're getting closer to like the river itself winding through. It takes a little while. You get a little bit later start today, so it takes a little bit of a while to find a good fording place across the river. You know that there are towns further up that might have bridges, but that would get you further away from your planned route, basically following the mountain ranges. So it's going to take you a little bit longer. Can I have everyone make me a dexterity saving throw? Unless you've got like acrobatics or something that you want to use as you attempt to ford this river.
Wow.
Throw.
Don't forget your +2.
Wow. That was...
I'm gonna go ahead and just use my Indomitable to re-roll that real quick.
Yeah. I think that would be a good idea for you.
Okay, you know,
10.
I'm a dwarf.
Yep.
It's a 10.
Only so much I can do.
You are on a horse, and that's part of the problem, right? Like, dwarf on a horse, you are not as balanced in the water. So when the shift of water along this horse, which would usually on taller folk be about knee height, right? It's technically lower on you, but it's faster moving. So you're shifted out of the saddle as you go. Gunnar, you have an opportunity to make sure that Civ does not go floating downriver. If you would like to interject at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I need, how would you like to do this? What are you doing? Where's it going? What you doing?
As I fail this roll, instead of starting to flail, let's just say it's not the first time this may have happened. Okay, let's just say it's not the third or fourth time this has happened either. As soon as it happens, and I can no longer like grab the stirrup of the horse. I give a quick second to like flail about, and then I just stop, and I just go to start floating and go with the water wherever it may take me. That's where I'm at.
I figure one of us will grab the reins and the other will grab Civ.
I think
it'd probably be easiest for me to grab Civ.
Yes, I'll be able to. Yeah, it'll be easier.
So I think those are athletics check. An athletics check to grab Civ.
and then
Yes.
for the reins.
Yeah, I think also an athletics check to grab the reins. Grabbing the reins isn't as big a deal if you let go of the reins. The horse is not floundering. It's Civ in the horse that's floundering at this moment. The horse.
I'm gonna use one of those dice you gave us
Mm-hmm.
that don't go away
Yeah,
to re-roll that.
I was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Good.
27. Yeah, you're fine. You can grab. It's like as Civ goes to just kind of let go. You just feel this hand come down and like grab you by the collar of your armor and just pull you up. So there is a dwarf kind of hanging wet and cold. Like this is a mountain river in the north. It's cold. Can I get a
I'm not.
Can I get a constitution check from you?
+2.
Is this for cold damage?
Yeah.
I'm immune.
Oh, that's right. You have that fancy new shiny.
Oh, do you have that?
Yeah. Or that's what the dragoon has given me.
Yep, the dragon has given you a new shiny ability. That is correct. It is cold damage. You know, I think that is a very fine thing for you to have. So you're just wet now.
Yeah. Which is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of padding in this.
If possible, I would have like resat them on their horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not the first time. So there's no fighting it. No fighting for my dignity. I just get placed wherever I need to be to get past this river.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries.
Grab the horse saddle things from Ven and be like, thank you, Ven.
No worries. It would have been if it wasn't you. Would have been us. So we're not that good at this either.
It's like, well, I guess there's only one way to get dry. It's just to keep on riding. So let's
take a
keep
few
on
hours.
going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The day keeps moving. You move forward, riding on. The chill feels stronger now as you move slightly northeast. The river behind you. I need a constitution saving throw from Gunnar at disadvantage.
19.
Damn,
So
nice.
good. Very good. But you feel the chill permeate you.
Mm-hmm.
It's stronger than usual. There's something, all of you feel this strength of cold that all of you have grown. You are from here. You know the winter and the chill in the air, the strength of the weather in this part of the world. And even for you all, there's something harsher.
That's not natural.
Except for Civ. Civ knows that it's colder. Civ just doesn't feel it.
Yeah. My thermometer is like showing me, like my thermostat it has a higher number. And I'm like, oh wow, or a lower number. And I'm like, oh wow, that's weird. Are you guys good? Are you guys good at this?
For now, we might want to try and set up camp a little early to make sure we're insulated better
Yeah.
if we find a good spot.
Ben kind of like doesn't look like cold, but it just seems like unsettled.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine. but it's
Are
unusual.
there reasons that we would know why it would get colder? Like
You
abnormal reasons?
could roll me Arcana or History.
Which one's worse?
Or
Oh, they're both the
Nature.
same.
Actually, Arcana or Nature would be better.
I'll do nature. They're all the same.
Mhm.
Oh no, that's not what I want. Nature. Thank you. A 5.
It's just getting colder.
It's just that time of the year.
Yep. You know, just that time of year. Ven, could you roll me another survival as you're attempting to find some place to camp earlier in the night?
19.
19. You can find a more sheltered location, you know, corpse of trees with some larger boulders that kind of like build a natural windbreak, slightly off the beaten path a little bit. You feel like it could be kept pretty warm in this area.
Nice.
Now that you don't have that tiny hut.
Make sure we start a like a smoldering long-term fire as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We just want it to radiate. We don't need it to be bright.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not hard for any of you do. That doesn't require a check of any sort or anything like that. You all know how to do this. You're all long term have lived or been out in the world for long enough. Ursa will take first watch as usual. You all may begin to rest. Ven to sleep. Siv to sleep. Gunnar to your meditations. Gunnar, who has Dreamsinger?
I do currently.
Okay.
Yrsa is not yet. She said she wanted to try it, but she said she didn't make it seem imminent.
Yeah, I don't think she had it. She wanted it right with her right now.
Yeah, so Gunnar wasn't going to try and force that option. He just wanted to make sure she knew it was an option.
Mm-hmm. As you retire to rest, then you realize you start to sleep and dream and rest. You had a kind of eventful day, sort of. Eventful in the sense that you definitely did a large-scale magical working that's probably not very common, and then also attempted to, you know, lead this journey. You feel something in your self, a memory rising to the surface. Do you let it rise or push it away?
Let it rise. Let's see.
Another memory. You see again that figure of Kirsten as he holds Dreamsinger, and yourself separate from Kirsten with this other sword. This scimitar made of gold, but hard as adamantine. Strange symbols and sigils etched into the blade and the handle. A language. You know it's a language. You know it's a language you knew at one point. A blade other in its existence. You know that this blade has further stories to tell, dreams it could give you. You know that there's something more here. And you see again that Kirsten turning and mouthing something to you as he gestures with Dreamsinger in his hand. Gestures to the blade, that green swath scimitar blade in your hand. And then you feel something odd. You feel a weight on that memory. A fogginess, a distortion. You have a certain ability, don't you, Ven, when it comes to memory?
Yeah.
You know that you should not be able, nothing should be able to distort one of your memories when you concentrate on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should always be able to recall perfectly.
Yeah.
But there's a distortion here. Like somebody took a memory from you. Or attempted to overwrite it. Not Kirsten. You know that this is not that, but something else.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know what yet.
We don't like that. Does this feel like something old that we just now noticed, or just something recent?
You feel like this was something there.
Mm-hmm.
Old.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps even at the time you were there then.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean like this,
Yeah, the distortion.
Yeah, distortion, yeah.
Yeah. Let me put this in mechanical terms.
Mm-hmm.
And you can think about this as you will. It's almost like if at the moment shortly after that memory was made,
Mm-hmm.
somebody attempted some sort of arcane memory magic
Mm-hmm.
that had a success.
Okay.
But because of Ven's innate state and the tie to the blade again, Ven knows that the memory magic occurred.
Yeah. Just now I see the redacted thing of okay. So
Yeah,
it was
you
it was
don't-
it's so the source, it was the old thing. I was just worried if it was this
No.
the redaction was newer, which was be another thing that we would be worried about. But if it's older, that's just
No,
it's curiosity, but it's not alarming.
No, instead it's the reality of, because of the presence of the sword
Mm-hmm.
Ven is now aware of something that's been missing for centuries.
Okay. Okay, there you go. That's
It's like as if we want to put it in modern terminology, the sword highlighted a deleted aspect in a program. It
mm-hmm.
can't recover
Yeah.
the data, but it can
Yeah.
point out that the data has been redacted.
Okay. That's less alarming. That's more has to do with what happened back then.
Yes.
So it's not okay. Curiosity, but not deep concern at the moment. Interesting.
Civ, I have a question for you.
I may have an answer.
It's cold.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep in your armor?
It's a great question. No, I don't. Because it's wet.
Well, I mean, it's been a couple hours. It's probably dried at this point.
But I've also just been in heavy wet armor all day and like riding on a very wet saddle all day. So I just don't want any of that on me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it gets too cold. Like unless I can't stand it, I'll like suck it up and I'll get back in it, but I will I choose not to.
Okay. Can you roll me a Constitution saving throw then?
I will. On saving throw. Boop, 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 boop. A 12.
It is
A 14 with Gunnar. There.
14 with Gunnar. Yes, 14. That 14 is very important. With that Constitution saving throw, you are fucking cold when you take that armor off, and it's that level of like, you know how when, I don't know. This is going to be a very New England description, and I'm sorry about it, but it's a very particular kind of state in New England. It is you look out the window, it's bright, the sun is shining, it looks like a beautiful spring day, and then you open the window and you go, holy fucking shit, no, because it's still only 30 degrees.
Liar's
like,
weather.
The
Yes.
liar's weather. And Lynn is
I've had this happen when it's like the thing had said, it says like negative, it's like negative degrees. So it's like, no, you can't trick me. I'm not going outside today. I don't care how nice it looks outside.
Yeah. It's like it's bright, it's sunny, it looks like it's a beautiful spring day. It'd be great to walk outside without a jacket on, and you're like, oh fuck no. Oh fuck no, 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 no. I'm gonna put like 6 more layers on. There's that brief moment of that when you take the armor off, and then you kind of settle into equilibrium. And you dream and go to sleep. Nothing harms you in the night. Gunnar.
Yes.
You meditate. You're aware, mostly. Well, not really. You're kind of aware. It's that thing that elves do.
Mm-hmm. Reverie.
Reverie. You think about life. You're aware of life. It's going on. And then you see. It's a vision that comes to you.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of haze that comes across your mind. A figure in a long house. Larger than one would expect. A throne. Carvings are intricate and old. A male, masculine looking figure stands, his back to you. Tall, strong, regal almost, imposing. You feel a sense of both connection and distance. You've met this person before.
Physically or in this dream state?
Both, but more importantly, physically.
Oh.
And you know that he hates you, Gunnar. And you feel as this figure starts to turn towards you, this hate and this knowledge that he knows you're there. He can't see you, but he knows that little prickling tingle on the back of his neck, little hairs rising in the back as he turns. And you feel the image break. As your sister kind of looks at you quizzically before going back to her own revelry and leaving you for watch tonight.
Dear uncle, you will never be rid of me. Even after my death, you will never be rid of me. I bet that vexes you so.
But can I get a perception check from you as you go into your...
Of course. Let's fire that up. Perception. It would help if I actually clicked on the word and not next to it. 17.
17. The night is young. Or, no, the night is old and quiet. Can I get a Constitution saving throw, please, and thank you?
One of these things. One of these.
Do my best. Ooh, double 23.
Continues.
Doing
Damn,
really well
nice.
with these. Doing really well with these Constitution saving throws.
I'm a little amped up today. You know, I got the
Yeah.
blood pumping.
You see some interesting, tracks of prey animals, nocturnal species, quiet in the night. But I have a question for Gunnar. As you look around and watch and feel the night in the quiet, what happens, Gunnar? What happened between you and that uncle that brings this figure brought to your mind?
I shouldn't say he very much did not like the fact that I survived the disease, because his son would have been the spare had I died.
But disease is a misnomer for what happened. Plague is
Yes,
very distinct.
it killed many. And I was written off at one point. He's the one that advocated for me to be sent off as a political hostage in order to find a way to circumvent my position in the family, a way to find another path for his own progeny. It was... I am reassured by those in my family that it was not of my own fault or doing, but that politics are what they are, and that I should be, I don't want to say forgiving, but understanding.
Politics are what they are.
Mm-hmm. Not really one of my favorites, but...
But politics are where things go today. Or tonight.
Correct.
Or in the future.
All of the above, most likely.
Civ, as you awaken, could I get a Constitution saving throw from you, please?
Yeah, you can. A 25.
Oh, you're fine. It's a little chilly this morning, and you're like, damn, I want to put that armor back on. But, you know,
Yeah.
General says, like, I'm going to bundle up today, kind of.
In the way I want to go back under the covers rather than
Yeah.
needing to jump in the fire real quick.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
as you awaken, can I get a Constitution saving throw from you, please?
$16.
18, because you're near Gunnar.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's fucking cold. This is you have this moment of, I'm not getting out of bed. This is the, I'm getting dressed under the covers level of cold.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But the day is yours.
For morning calisthenics, I try to convince Ben to get out from under the blanket and like, come on, this will warm you up more than that blanket will. Come on.
I think there is some grumbling, but they will kind of relent.
3 of us now. I'll get Gunnar here one day, and
I think
Gunnar
under
will
like
show.
kind of like under her breath a little bit too severe, or under their breath, it'll like there was quite a convincing argument.
we're like, yes, there was, and we'll be doing some calisthenics. And Gunnar, if you join us, I like Civ will be so happy.
Yeah, Gunnar will join. He mostly focuses on upper body and core strength,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't want to, completely wuss out on leg day. This armor's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why we do it before we put the armor on. In the morning, at night we do it with the armor. So you would know this if we did calisthenics more often. I'd be happy to have you, Gunnar.
But I was on watch, so I was wearing my armor already.
I guess that's fair. But no excuses. Come on, let's go.
It's not as bad as we thought it would be.
Oh, I need an athletics check from Ven. Sorry.
Three.
Believe.
Oh no, it is as bad as you think it was.
Mhm.
Then
I think
gets
in the
through
norm
half sets.
I think it's in the normal way, but I think it's just because we haven't tried in a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it hurts like hell. But like Ben will, it's like it's not as bad. Ah, just not used to having someone quite this young in a long time. Probably should have done some better care. But it's a start.
Yeah, the best day to start was yesterday. The second best day is today. I'll be glad to continue to have you, and we'll take it a little slower next time.
I think the thing happens like I think where like if I've run for like a really long time and you just kind of like just stop, like your kind of like joints freeze up. I think that kind of happens too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Just like I'm just
oh,
gonna
it's fine.
can you hold me up? Hold this up. Hold this
Oh,
up. Okay, there you go.
I got you. I got you. I got
Just
you.
just and they'll like rub the legs. It's like okay, we should be okay. Okay,
Just gonna roll gently. Okay.
we're gonna need a lot of
We're
work.
good?
We're gonna need a lot of work. It's gonna
Yeah. It's a
be
long
unpleasant.
journey. And as we get onto the horses, I'll definitely like help give you a boost. But like I jump up on the horse with like a real pep in my step, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Ben will get on it. Just kind of, it's like there's gonna be some like grunting as they try and like get on there. It's just like as like you have to pull the leg over the set. It's like just like
That's how you know it's working.
mm. Yeah. Well, I guess this is our punishment for not doing this for a while. But thank you. How you doing, Gunnar?
Oh, about the same as usual.
Mm.
Let's get someone watch that on legs.
So I need that survival check.
$13.
13. It's a lot of open ground. And you're not making as good time as you expected because about an hour into your day, you hit the woods, the forest, the Shraak forest. It spans the whole eastern section of the hold of Stonefast. You know the mountains are to your south, you can see them, and you can keep them to, you want to keep them to your right-hand side as you're traveling, because you're going to be doing that northeast travel, as long as you keep the mountains. But once you hit the forest and the denseness of the forest, your speed slows down. It takes you longer to get through. The day is heavier. There are more just obstacles to traverse in the ground, right? Like you're not making as much time as you did previously. There's many things that just kind of keep going as you make your way forward and moving forward and all of this, but it is slower going. And can I get a perception check from everybody?
No.
I got an 8.
Gunnar.
Yes.
You're gonna notice two things. One, and two things, and then you'll be able to ask me 2 questions. Okay?
Okay.
So, thing number 1 that you notice is that Ursa is moving fine. There's no problems. And you're pretty sure, like, there does not seem to be any change in her demeanor or personality since you removed the axe from her possession.
Okay.
You know, there isn't a change, right? She just is who she was before, while she had the axe, and now without it.
Mm-hmm.
You also notice that there is a large amount of, again, those tracks that seem to hint towards a large-scale smuggling operation that's moving through here.
Okay.
In this area. You don't see any fresh tracks to say that there's perhaps anybody in the area at the moment. But you do see a lot of that evidence. That this passage has become well used by a variety of perhaps less than pleasant individuals. And you may ask 3 questions.
Am I aware of any particular smuggling operations that would be this far north?
I mean, how involved in criminal enterprise is Gunnar?
He did make an enemy of one gang.
So you're an enemy
because
of
he
one...
humiliated them.
Yeah, you made an enemy of one gang, but you're not really like...
Yeah, he's not actively involved. But
So,
being a noble, he doesn't know if he's overheard something or not.
I would say that you don't necessarily know one way or the other. You know
That's fair.
that it's, if you're thinking about it from like a knowledge of just general area, it would be a good way to there is a pass between the Griff Mountains and the Korusk Mountains that goes north to south, that connects the hold of Stonefast to the territory of the Frazudi. And if you're going this kind of northeast passage, it would be a way to kind of avoid certain like formal patrols and formal caravans that would use that passage by cutting over land in certain places. So it's not an the thought that somebody might be doing this isn't very strange, but you don't know any particular group you don't know of any particular group that is well known for that.
Gotcha. You just said it was large scale, so I just wanted to see if it was also an organization or could be related to an organization that was well known.
I mean, you know of like 4 or 5 different groups that are large scale smugglers in the area.
But there's no sign that it's likely one of them versus the others.
Yeah, there's nothing that indicates a particular trail markers of one versus the other.
Okay.
You just it's just the way in which the trail is being used. It's obvious that people are moving some sort of goods in a way that they don't want to be seen.
When you say that there are tracks, is it just hoofs and foot, or are we talking wagons or sleds or other, I guess, vehicles?
Not so much wagons, right? Like not wagons.
Mhm.
You can see a couple places where it looks like heavier track marks, perhaps some sort of like sledge for just, or a heavier cargo was being moved at this particular time point, but nothing that gives like a vehicle per se.
Gotcha. So no, like side by side of large hoof prints for like something pulled by oxen or draft horses.
No,
Okay.
nothing like that. Um,
Just trying to think of the obvious things that Gunnar, the non-tracker,
mm-hmm. Would notice.
would notice. Yeah. Um, the last one would be if, regardless of signs, but maybe this is more of a postponed one, but as we go, he would be looking to see if they've set some, I guess, temporary camping spaces that are like the more ideal ones. So because they've tracked this multiple times, are
Yes.
they leaving behind signs of great places to camp and then try and take advantage of those when the evening comes along? Does that make sense?
Yep. So what I'll do instead is I'll say that you can roll survival at advantage to attempt to find a campsite that they've already established in a protected area.
Okay, cool.
When you get to that point. Civ, what are you doing today as you make your way through?
I am. What was my roll? It was an 8. I am trying to figure out how to read and ride a horse at the same time. It's not something I've ever attempted.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to read up on kicking God's butts, and that's what I'm gonna try to do today.
Okay,
just try
you
to
wanna
learn how
try
to
read about
read and
fighting
ride.
God.
Through the
Okay.
tales of other people. I choose like the smaller of the books provided to me.
Okay. Thank you for all those gift subs. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna give it a second
to roll through.
Thank you, Chris, for all of those gift subs.
No problem. Thought I'd give you a chance to think about how Civ might try and, as Sphinx said, stomp out a god.
I appreciate the attempt. You know, it gives me so much to think about. I think that's the last one. All right, cool. Hey, Civ.
Mm-hmm.
You. Oh, there was one more. You can think about this process. Roll me history at advantage because you have that book that you're studying.
Oh. A natural 20.
Great.
Wow. Oh. Min-max.
Max.
No, you need to tell people at home that you rolled a nat 1 and a natural 20 at advantage to get that.
Really?
Yeah.
Two things will come immediately to mind, and then your reading through the book will probably allow you to ask questions as you go.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1, attempting to fight gods always ends badly. Always.
Mm-hmm.
There is no story, no tale, no myth, no legend, no praise or heroic undertaking where attempting to fight a god ends well. The best case scenario is you end up deified in a minor case and locked in eternal battle with another evil deity that you can never step away from. And then the fight between deities, well, that doesn't happen on the mortal plane. That happens through the avatars and their priests and their paladins, their worshippers. This leads to the burning of cities and the desecration and devastation of empires. But with that natural 20, you would also know Civ Iron Fury. That there is always a possibility. It just depends on what Civ would sacrifice for that fight. How much of themselves would they give up?
I see. Which, hubris, always a possibility.
Yeah. But you have a book in your possession. A book of stories of gods and mortals and fighting. There are interesting things one might find in a book. Because, of course, what harm ever came from opening a book? But that's where we're going to end for today. And we are going to see what happens next week. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for that level 3 hype train. That has absolutely never happened on this channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for those gift subs, Chris. Thank you to everyone else who subbed, who came in to hang out. Thank you to all of my wonderful audience at home. Hextor didn't steal his godhood. Other people may have, but Hextor didn't technically steal the godhood. His brother did. Depending on how you define it. Stealing is a complicated term. But we are here. We are wonderful friends. Thank you to my wonderful players. Thank you again to the audience for hanging out tonight. We're gonna go around, let everybody share some love, share some joy, and share where you can be found over this. And what's one thing that you're concerned about for next week? So why don't we start with Chris?
Everybody, Chris Geary here. You can find me on Blue Sky at Chris Geary. You can find me here on Sundays, and sometime come late summer or early fall, you'll find me here again for Castle Falkenstein. Still working out the cast at this moment, but we've got some ideas flowing. And worried, Gunnar is less worried than I am. Gunnar is sure it'll all work out because he's still alive when he shouldn't be. But backlash from gods is always something to be worried about. Trying to lay siege to a huge orc city, because we're not sneaky, so we're not going to sneak in there and grab the sword and leave. So yeah, those are worries that are on my mind.
All of these are fair. All of these are fair. And share some love.
Oh yes. Um, couple moments that stood out. Obviously, I always enjoy the banter between Gunnar and his sister. It seems to go quite well. Um, I I do like how worried the multi-soul like ancient being is, and Gunnar's kind of like, it could be worse. Um, that was a fun little juxtaposition, and then Civ just accepting, oh, fell off the horse again, was quite a moment.
Indeed, indeed. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for this, and we're looking forward to all the interesting things that are coming in the near future. Um, and then, hey PB, how you doing? How's life going for you? And happy birthday again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Things are going good. I'm PB from at PB Played Inside, where you can find me over on Twitch and Blue Sky. Slowly but surely getting back into the streaming thing. And, yeah, I am... Civ is concerned, but more concerned in... Well, I guess twofold. There's a concern about Yrsa, and the potentiality of the lack of what is the word, the lack of a choice that she may get, and also worried about going into another big city with a lot of people in it, especially if there's any sort of animosity. Knowing that, you know, you can't, it's been a long time and I have the animosity of a lot of people. So always a little concerned going into any city and, in the kingdom. So, just that's always just lingering in the back of my mind. But aside from that, yeah, no, I'm just like, I mean, it's a prophecy, you know, like, what are we gonna do? Not do it? Like, oh, we're not gonna get the swords, so I am not concerned about getting this, like, the getting of the swords, or the fact that we will get the swords is not even the question, it's not even a doubt in my mind. It's just simply a fact. We will go there and we will grab the sword. By what means, you know, we'll figure it out, but we will get the swords, because we kind of have to, and it's kind of foretold. So, like, there's not even a question of a doubt in her mind that we're going to get them. And PB, on the other hand, much more concerned about the logistics of how we're going to do everything. But Civ, not even it's like, we'll figure it out. Gunnar's real good at talking, so, like, I'm sure they'll figure out something. And if not, we have a ton of money. Bribery gets you a long way. It's not bribery. We could buy the sword. We're buying the sword in that case. And the things I love just seeing the different personalities, and the past lives of Ven. Meeting someone else was it was cool, and the attitude you had towards yourself was also really interesting. And for Gunnar, I just you're so nonchalant for a paladin whose sister is being courted by a somewhat evil god. It's so funny. Like you said, just the juxtaposition between you and Ven. I always just, like, in my mind, I expect you to be a little bit more concerned about it than you ever really are. And I guess that confidence instills a lot of confidence in Civ. So I guess if that's the point, it's working. And for Lindy, just always playing it up as Yrsa, and just a cluelessness of the situation she has somehow found herself in. So I love all of that, and I am so excited to see what you have prepped for us next week, because this week was really good.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you that things will be very interesting next week, just for a variety of reasons. And I'm glad you all had fun, or at least so far. Hey, Lynn, how are you doing?
Doing good. Yeah. What was concerned? Van is very concerned about like the lack of like clarity they have, especially with this new bit of information about the redacted bit of memory around this thing. I think it's just like the idea of like prophecy, I think unnerves them because you're kind of like it's a trap in an unusual way. Like it might be good, like regardless of like the intent of it, like it has no bearing on how it ends up for everyone around. It's a matter of the thing happens and it's just like it's affects everyone and it's never how you expect it to be, and I think that is what's concerning Ven more than anything else. If they can like maneuver it in some way that whatever is negative will be mitigated a little bit. But as far as like I enjoy that. Yeah, I do also enjoy that juxtaposition between like how Gunnar's handling the stuff with Yrsa. I think there's the amount of like trust, and I think it's maybe Gunnar knows that like it's going to be an incredible undertaking for any god to like try and like wrangle Yrsa, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like that kind of like there's a certain like it's not, but it's also like it's down to earth. Because I think it's a nice change. Because Ven, I think, lives too much in like that divine area where it's just like the soul matters, but like the matter of the soul is deeply concerning to Ven. But like I think Gunnar trusts I think more in the person I think than Ven does,
Mm-hmm.
and I enjoy just like the practicality that like Civ has with everything, and just like the concern, like kind of like the concern that she has for your son, like just like the things that I think connected the most with Yrsa as far as like that ceremony was the stuff that Civ brought up. Like, yeah, you're not as fun anymore. It's like there's certain things that I'm not like entirely happy with, and like you should know that it's something that's changed about you. I think that stuff I think connected with Yrsa more than any of the two like um more divine like experienced people, which I think was it was neat. I really liked it. And I'm Lynn, Gremlin Art. Pretty much everywhere on the socials. It's a busy week. On Tuesday, it's more Shadow Scar on Warner DM's channel. And then on Friday, it's going to be the finale of Book Hounds of London, and we are in hell. And I don't know exactly how. I don't know if anybody's going to make it. I don't think my character deserves to come out of it. Just a dirtbag. Probably should be better off. Like living. Might be happier. I don't know. That's on Other Doc on Friday, and on Wednesdays we've had our first session on Thursdays. Um, on Valkyrian channel, it's we had our first session last week of Daughters of Io, a Go by Moonlight game where we are playing just a sad group of pilots of mechs, and it's great. I get to play pair of partnered pilots, and that's been a lot of fun so far. We actually get to be in our get a first proper fight next this coming week. So I'm excited to see how sad that makes us.
I'm looking forward to it. Check out all of those things. Thank you again for being here. Thank you again to all of my fine friends for being here and reaching out and helping us all with this. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're coming to some interesting points in this kind of story that we're going to tell, and things might come to a head. But I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax. Praxagorth, as me see me around here on Twitch, Prax the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. If you missed out on any of today's very emotional discussions, feel free to check out the YouTube, because that's where everything is posted in nice, neat playlists, including a podcast, if that's your preference and approach. We also have a merch store. All of that kind of goes back into running the channel, where we have some Barbarians with Body Counts merch, because, you know, of reasons. Also, there's a Ko-Fi, if that's the thing that you guys like to do. I appreciate each and every one of you. I personally found all of this... I want you all to know, I, as a GM, love the fact of how you all are approaching the possible concern of your barbarian possibly being possessed, because I am used to players being like, you know what, we're just gonna cast, what is it, Dispel Curse, or Lesser Restoration, or Greater Restoration, and just deal with that kind of possession that way. And instead you're like, no, we're going to talk about this and see where this goes, and we're going to create a Faraday cage around the sword and have like I love all of this and the creativity that goes into it. I also love Civ being like, you know what, it's not the first time I've fallen off a horse into a river, I'm just going to go with it, it's fine, we're going to be chill, we're going to be great. Also, you know, I don't have to worry about cold damage because I have this dope-ass armor. Just, you know, little things. And being like, my friend isn't cool anymore. I need to tell them that. Like, that was great. But, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Chris and PB and Lynn and Lindy, who's had to run away, but all of those good things. Also, check out Lindy on Friday, or check out Lindy's channel Monday and Tuesday for, I think this week is her Aliens week for Monday, and then Saltmarsh on Tuesdays, and then Wednesday is the Call of Cthulhu in the Old West, where there were dinosaurs last week. I'm just saying that there were dinosaurs. And a train, but dinosaurs. And then on Friday, she's over on Trooper's channel for Traveler, and if you know, all of those things. So check that out. But I'm going to be here again next Sunday for more of this story that's ongoing. There's a couple things that are happening in the background that are going to be really, really interesting if they work the way I think they will. And I think it'll be really interesting. I hope you all enjoy it. But we're going to see about if there's anyone out there tonight to raid, to send some love out into the world. And unfortunately, no one I know is up at the moment. So we'll just say goodnight here, and we'll see you all next time, where I'm sure there will be plenty of story left to come, and not at all any drama. Bye-bye, everybody.